you have Luffy who could charge his C1, similar to Zoro, and it's interesting. Yeah, honestly, removing his charge mechanic was weird to begin with. At least it should be kept on pre-time skip Luffy. That he still has like the old charge mechanic. Because they just took it out all the way. And I was like, that's, I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree with moving the normal charge mechanic, because like it makes him a bad character when you're not using it, and it's kind of a lot of buttons to just randomly have to press for like the main character. But I think so I think he should have high AoEs and stuff, and that should be a thing about Luffy. But what's weird is like, why is Luffy C1 so whatever? Like that's the one thing I would have redone completely. But yeah, like quickly going over it, I think it would just, any character is like really slow or whatever, I would either just buff their speed up to compensate so that they're a little bit more playable, or if it feels like it's in the character's characteristics, like with Frankie and Giants, I'd probably just increase the power to the aforementioned numbering, and then I'd be good there. And then I'd try to fix other wonky isms if I could help it. I would have to nerf Shanks' attack speed and buff his attack damage if I wanted to make his hockey-infused sword work correctly. So he has a bug that if you're playing as Shanks, when he uses hockey-infused sword by completing his square string, he buffs his sword with Haoshoku armament. When he has that, his attack changes from doing 1.0 to doing 0.35 3 times instead. So it like hits 3 times. You can look at the little combo counter on the top left and see it goes like da-da-da. Well, when he does that, that's awesome. That's a 5% damage increase at the end of the day, and it's a little bit more than a 5% increased damage to your opponent's armor. But when he activates full force burst, because it increases his attack speed, the hitbox terminates faster than it can do the 3 hits, so it hits twice instead. So he ends up doing 0.7 damage while in FFB, and having hockey infused. So if you have a hockey infused sword and full force burst, you'll just lose 30% of his damage on his basic square string. So if that ever happens, I usually try to, I think his air hits are unaffected. So either I go for an air combo into air C5, or I just try to throw out a C5 as fast as possible because it's a broken move, and then just try, like, kind of ignore that I have the nerf on my square hits. Because the hockey infused sword does buff all your charge moves by a lot, so it's like, I want it, but and it sucks too, because like, honestly, his full force burst should just give him hockey infused sword at least once. Yeah. So Shanks would be broken if his FFB just gave him permanent hockey infused sword. Even with the